Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. I'm very grateful to be here, and I am here on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'm grateful to be here again and on Instagram, and I appreciate everybody who is there. And, on Instagram, I'm here live every Wednesday unless I have a guest. And then you can reach me at my YouTube channel. If you want to go to my YouTube channel at Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications, you can catch a lot of different videos. And I'm there regularly every week, even if I have a guest. But this week I didn't have a guest on Instagram. And so I was able to go live with there. So with that here I am on all platforms. And I'm grateful to be here. And thank you for catching me earlier. So today I am Natasha Venter. I'm a medium, intuitive, psychic medium, intuitive medium, whatever you want to call it. I am one who've been intuitive my whole life. Now I've been doing this as a profession for, about almost 20 some odd years now. So with that as I've gone through forward in believing in myself, I have become more and more as a businesswoman coming forth in doing readings, sessions, I call them, with people to help you through many different facets. Let's say, I am a life coach, so I help people work through a lot of where they're at in life. And many of us have stopping points that we're in. And oh my gosh, emotions. Haven't we been riddled with emotions? Riddled? I guess that's a word. But like my mother of heart, who's now passed, says, Natasha, that's not in the dictionary, but that's a word that fits. So we've been overrun with emotions. The moons are challenging us. The planets are challenging. I believe in astrology. So when I say planets, I'm meaning astrology. Astrological planets, like let's say Pluto right now. Well, there's a big deal with 22222 just yesterday with Pluto, because Pluto is one of those planets that likes to trigger us into doing some deep work. And it's really being active right now. And the last time it was active was when Rome fell and the Constitution was written in the United States here. And, some big plans have been done around Pluto in the state of where it was set up. So with that as we've gone through life and managing life, it's been interesting how that the planets really work us through to get us to where we need to go. And that's why I was called. They actually wanted me to talk to everybody about what is it that stops us from moving forward. Well, I'm mirroring this myself in my life. And how do we move forward? And it doesn't necessarily mean changing our jobs. Sometimes it just means getting up in the morning. How do we move through to get up in the morning? How do we move through to get ourselves ready to do our day? How do we get ourselves moving forward so that we can have inspiration to even cook dinner? How can we move forward to do those things that help us go forth in our life? And Veronica, thank you very much for giving me your emojis, and everybody on Facebook there. Thank you for giving me a wave of hello. We're all going through this flip flang flurry thing that is going on, and right now, I know for me that my energy is feeling so clogged up. So I'm going to do something here that I think a lot of us can use, and it's my singing bowl. And it has, let's make sure that he's not upside down here. Which way are you sitting? Oh, he's sitting this way. So it has Mr. Ganesh in the middle of it. So Mr. Ganesh is one that helps break through metaphorically, spiritually, however you want to think about it. He's actually on my phone because I need help with that. That he helps break through he helps us break through walls. He helps us break down those things, those barriers that make us so that we don't want to go forward. And Ganesh here with my pewter singing bowl here. Isn't it beautiful? I was so blessed when this came to me. I just was in the right place at the right time, and with the with the right mullah to help me with that. But I'm gonna do this 3 times. I'm gonna gong it, and if you can, while I'm doing this, take some deep breaths, because of the fact that the vibration of this singing bowl can really help clear out congestion. It can help out if you feel like your energy is down. It can clear a lot of these things that are attached to us. Energy, when we're around people that are not good people, sometimes we get sticky feeling in our energy, and so helping this. So take a moment. I'm going to take a moment and do a couple gongs. So please, at the same time, if you can take a moment and breathe, and then I'll continue this conversation about moving forward. And I was told actually to pull some oracle cards as I'm talking, so that the energies can move through. So this is going to be an interesting new application of the show today, which I'm kind of amazed, because I've had a migraine all day, and the universe is setting it aside right now so that I can be my shiny self. Fake it till you make it, I think is the word. Okay, so here we go. So what I'm asking this bowl to do, the vibration of this bowl, however it comes to you, that it sings to you to bring its magic. So it brings to whatever is bothering you, that it can just vibrate away. And whatever the singing bowl does for you, it may hit you in some of the different chakras, like your lower chakras. It may vibrate there. Just breathe with it. Breathe with it and let it be where it's supposed to be. Are we ready? Breathe. Breathe. Oh, I'm hearing one more time. 4 is not the normal number, but there we go. We need something gentler, didn't we? I needed that too. I think. Thank you for being there with me with that moment. Oh, it can go on forever, can't it? So that is a singing bowl. And I'm not really good at making them sing. I'm going to practice with that. But this one loves to be energetic that way, Momenta. So today, I'm offering to you that at some point in time in the next 24 to 48 hours, you make a list. Make it a list of the things that you would like to accomplish in your life. And it could be a list of 3 things. It could be a list of 20 things. Okay. This is not a list of to-dos. It's just those things that you wish that you can do. And yes, I'm going to make my list too. And it could be a list of the same thing, but applications around it. Okay. When we get things out on the paper, this is what's interesting about getting things down on a paper. When we put things down on the paper of things we want to accomplish, now accomplishment, it could be talking better to myself. It could be accomplishments about, I want to get up earlier in the morning. It could be an accomplishment of changing jobs. It can be an accomplishment of eating better. It could be an accomplishment of finding a relationship. Okay. So writing down things that you want to accomplish. No agenda, nothing. It's just getting things out of here to here. Okay. So when you write things down, let's say, write them down. Okay. And as you write them, give a little space around them. Don't make them 1, 2, 3, 4. Give a little space around them. I want you to write one thing that comes to your mind. Because a lot of times when we're writing something down, let's say, what do I want to say? Uh, let's say, I would like to have a cleaner house. Okay, cleaner house. Okay, I'm going to write down I would like to have a cleaner house. The first thing that comes out of my head is you don't have time. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I don't have time. Okay. Second thing, right off to the side. First thing that comes to mind. I don't feel like I need to. I don't feel like I need to do that. Okay, write that down. So you're going to have the thing, even if it's something that's negative, write it down. Okay, because a lot of times when we write something down, even if it's on the negative side, a lot of us don't want to acknowledge that. We want to brush it away, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to having my house cleaner. I don't have time. Okay, I'm going to look at that. Why don't I have time? Well, I don't have time because of this. And we start labeling things that are reasons for not doing things, right? And it gets down to I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to. I'm going to give another idea. Make a list of food I can eat or food for dinner. Ideas for dinner. There's the word I was looking for. Ideas for dinner. And I'm going to write down. I'm going to have dinner planned better. Okay. The thing I'm writing over here, the first thing that pops in my head is food doesn't like me very much. Or I'm not inspired by food. Okay. So when we start labeling things, those emotions, many times those emotions help us to get motivated to do better. Because once we find out why we don't want to, it gives us a tool to move forward. Whew, this is huge because of the fact that many times there's those little things that stop us from going forward. Like I was having a conversation with someone and I was talking about how I'm not very, I don't have very much in my life that I enjoy. Oh, okay. Enjoy. For me, now what did I do was I started looking at my life. Where do I find enjoyment? Where do I find enjoyment? Like the other day, a squirrel ran in front of me, and squirrel means work and play, balance, work and play. And I was like, play? Do I play? To me, this is play, but it's also work. Okay. Because it's part of my business, right? Doing sessions. I love doing the show. It's playfulness to me. It's enjoyment to me. I really enjoy it. Enough that my migraine kind of took a sideline. This is enjoyment to me. So, but one thing that I noticed that like food, as soon as I enjoy food, it usually gets taken away by a food allergy or something that disagrees with me. Okay. Like I used to love ketchup, mayonnaise and ketchup together. Love mayonnaise and ketchup together. I dip pretty much everything into it. Well, can't eat tomatoes anymore, break out in hives. And then things made with vinegar went away. And I'm like going, why is the things I'm enjoying taken away? Well, I was talking with this person the other day, and you know what they said to me is that, you know, enjoyment is something that a lot of us do not think that we should have, that we don't accomplish it. We don't value enjoyment for ourselves. Well, finding those things that we enjoy. Well, I know for me, if I look back at my past lives, now this is where I was going to talk about, because many of us have past lives that stop us from moving forward. And I believe in past lives. Not every religion, not every belief system believes in past lives. I do, because many of us have past lives that make us have fears. Let's say we were drowned in a past life, so we don't like water in this one. Okay, just making a short little blurb there. So for me, hi Erica. Erica says on Facebook that she says I do, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Erica. And Veronica, thank you very much for all that you do with me. So with that as we go through life, that past lives. So I started thinking back in my past lives. Enjoyment. And I'm pretty old soul. I'm when I remember when I was plucked from the greater good, the greater love. And and um hi Erica. Thank you for showing up today. That as we go through life and managing life, I started going through my past lives and I thought, when did I have an enjoyment in any of my lifetimes? Well, this is not a sad story. It's just this is my soul is I love supporting, and I remember many lifetimes where I was this supporting role for people. I can also tell you that many lifetimes I was either killed, poisoned, or sabotaged in some way because I was shining my light. I was finding enjoyment. My light, whenever I shine my light, that's my enjoyment. But every time I did that, it got snubbed out. So in this lifetime, I kind of had that image of going, okay, since it was snubbed out, I'm going to snub out my enjoyment now so that somebody else doesn't snub my enjoyment and take it away from me. I'm going to snub it. Oh, well, isn't that part of my body history of snubbing food I don't like? I loved pickles for about 3 weeks, and then I couldn't have anything with vinegar. How am I going to look at now? How am I going to look at now? Shining my light, because I can tell you in this lifetime, the only one that's going to snub my light is me. The only one that I'm going to snub my light is me. And many of us sabotage ourselves for where we're going. Hi, Bev. Thank you for showing up on Facebook here. I appreciate a great conversation for today. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's no mistakes. The universe around me says, talk about this. And I follow suit because I trust. And that application of showing our own light. Well, remember me going back to writing down and then writing that negative thing? Think about if there's a pattern about how you're sabotaging yourself as you're writing that. Nothing wrong with it. Please do not judge yourself. Please do not judge yourself. Please do not judge yourself. Because of the fact that as soon as we start judging ourselves, that is a part of a sabotage. And that's a go-to. We sabotage ourselves or we talk negative to ourselves. Oh, that might be one that I want to work on. Talk better to myself. Never done it before. Why should I start now? That would be one thing to write off to the side, right? So as we're going forward and working through how can I do better for myself? Like I said, this list of what I want to accomplish moving forward in my life can be just eating better. It doesn't have to be big. People put out a lot of things to it. Starting a new job, getting new friendships, new relationships. No, that is part of it. But it's as simple as, like me, finding enjoyment. Finding enjoyment. And what are those things that are sabotaging myself and others that are in my path to become my greater self? And to me, when I have successfulness, it's me being me in this light, like I am today, right now, right? Okay, cards are calling. Remember how I told you that I was going to pull some oracle cards through this? So cards are calling. Okay, so who wants to come up? So this deck here, it's the map of Claudette Baron Reed. Colette, sorry about that, Colette. Her name and I. So what am I going to do? Okay, so what would you like to tell us now, universe? As I pull these cards. Okay, so this one right here is the one that is calling to me. Okay, and it was upside down. Bone collector. Bone collector. Okay, so I'm going to show here bone collector. Look at the face. The face smiles, smiles. The radius around. Okay, so that is number one. Number one. So it's new beginnings. So everything that we do to start new has to start somewhere. That's what I'm getting out of the number one. Okay. And as we go forward in life, and as we manage our life, we're always going to have these points where life kind of says, huh. So the bone collector. Okay. And I'm going to be reading. So if I kind of have to repeat, it's dyslexic moment, and I'm going to move forward because I'm going to persevere through this. Okay. You are whole and have everything you need within. You have everything you need within. Oh, isn't that a statement? My light creates the ability to move forward. You have everything, and I have a little bit more to story. I'll say that after this, because I had a great conversation with a very, very dear friend today. Okay, so I'm going to read the meaning. So there's different meanings, and so upright, and it was upside down, which means that we're kind of something that is blocking us. Okay, so I'm going to read both of them because some of us are this way and some of us are this way. Okay. So, upright. When the bone collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unhealthy, unconscious expectations. Okay, let me reread that because that's huge, actually. When the bone collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting to past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Ooh, it's huge. I love the synchronicity of the universe. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it is as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular vision of the truth that then sets us up for behavior of a certain way in the future when faced with situations that reminds us of the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becoming influenced by a perception of limitation. Ooh, isn't that true? A perception of limitations. Oh, that goes back to me saying about how I'm going to dim my own light so nobody else does, right? If you feel unworthy or without courage, you may see yourself as flawed or unlovable, or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. The awareness of wounds of the past need not define you. Oh, that's a huge one. The awareness of the wounds of the past need not define you. Okay, so this is reversed, so upside down. Okay, I'm going to read that too. The past has a way of repeating itself when you haven't learned the lessons inherent in original situation. You're faced with this now. The bone collector is here to collect you to challenge. Okay, the bone collector is here to challenge you to see yourself as whole being and not one of particularly trying to heal an old wound. You'll repeat the past if you don't reclaim the things you believe you lost. The information you seek lies in your history. Familiarity in this case isn't an invitation to dance the old dance once again. Instead, it is to call and retreat and choose differently. The collector has a message. If you do not do it, let me start over. I apologize. The bone collector has a message for you. If you do what you do, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Her warning is delivered with kindness, for she has deeper love and respect for you than you probably have for yourself. I put that in. She will protect you. If you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Ooh, you do what you did, you get what you got. So in other words, if you try to eat differently and you say something like, I don't like food, well, is food going to like you? No. Isn't that cool? I love the Synchronous Scene. This is what I knew intuitively when I was going to pull cards, that the cards would come up with what I was talking about. So this one person I was talking with, oh gosh, I love the universe, the bone collector. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm grateful that I was talking with someone and was struggling with feeling like everything was falling away from them. You know, a lot of us are going through grief, and a lot of us have lost a lot. And Bev, my love goes to seeing everybody you've lost that you've posted about has just been ouch. And every time that you've posted, I've just sent my love to you and your family. Because as we're going through life, we've lost so much. We've lost people we love. We've lost homes. We've lost jobs. We've lost friendships. We've lost connection with ourselves because this COVID thing was a life-altering experience that we've lost a lot of ourselves in. We lost track. We lost where we go. What used to make money doesn't make money anymore. What we used to have fun with, you couldn't do for a while, so you forgot that you enjoyed doing it. You know, there's these things that happen where they go. Now, another place that I just got to tap with, that I asked last night, I just said out there, well, what can I do to find enjoyment? And the first thing that popped in my head was play music. Don't watch the TV. Don't play music on TV. Get on YouTube and play the music you love to dance with. Find your enjoyment. If you find enjoyment, you find the rhythm. Okay, so going back to this person I was talking with today, that this person was feeling like everything was pulled away from them, right? Ripped away. And yet she has a beautiful, beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. And the light that they wanted to have was at that time when they were able to shine in this consciousness of curiosity and wonderment, and played with their muses, right? And muses are something that helps us be creative. Okay. So what I suggested to them is that whatever they do, even if it's cleaning the toilet, put music to it. Put music to it. Bring the thread of music to whatever they're doing. That brings joy into it. Kind of like for me, whenever I am going to clean the house, and I don't like cleaning in the house. So what do? I love feng shui. I love to feng shui my place. So what do? I clean by feng shui. So I add music to my ability. So when you're making your list, right? Make your list, but find that thing. First off, after you made your list, define that one thing that makes your heart sing. What makes your love sing? What makes that part of you, that brings you that light? And then think about on that list, what can you do different with that love, with that light? Like for me, if I want to help my relationship, let's say if my other half is and I are having some troubles, I'll feng shui the corner. I'll fluff and dust it, vacuum it. Usually I have stones. I love stones. So I usually have a couple stones that have gotten dusty and they need to be washed off, cleansed. So what can you do to bring music, bring that thing that you enjoy into that inspiration of doing? Let's say for the person that I was talking to today, if they don't like to cook dinner, then couldn't they sing while they were cooking dinner? Would that bring more enjoyment? Yes. And sometimes we have to do those things we don't really want to do during a time of um, let's say if we don't have money in the pocketbook and that kind of thing. And it makes it very hard to be able to negotiate moving forward in our becoming our better self. But I can tell you that's the time to get the ball rolling. When things are going away, what can replace it? What can replace it? Because it's not about things going away, it's about transforming that new thing into something new. Do you notice where I'm going? I'm going underneath to come up on the other side of it, right? Coming and then coming up underneath it to come to the front of it. And that's where we're going with life. Is we're having to become inspirational for doing things we don't want to do. Oh, do I want to get up and go to work? No, actually, I want to stay in bed. But I find the purpose and find my calling, this part of me that lights up. What can I do today to do my calling, my light? What can I do to bring my light into places? And that helps me get myself out of bed to be my greater self. Because we need to find the rhythm, and I'm going to say a need. We're going to need to find a rhythm in our life in order to make our life accomplished. So Veronica says on Facebook here, Instagram, you can go on YouTube to find what they're saying, but I'm going to read it for you too. I shine my light every day. This helps to shift the energy to a higher vibration. I love that. And you do. You're amazing that way. Thank you, Veronica, for putting that. Because I can tell you that as soon as I shine my light, my day turns around. And Veronica, thank you for saying that because yours does. You do too. That if we can do something to change something, it helps. If we find something that triggers us, oh man, triggers, oh, triggers, these people in our lives, the stores in our lives, the news in our lives, the things that are in our lives are coming around and hitting us and hitting us and hitting us. So what can we do to find inspiration through that? Let's say if there's a story that we do that is just like, it just triggers us. I'm getting tired of them saying that. I'm just going to say that. I'm tired of them saying that. Well, we can say, and then it ruins our day. Or we can say, glad they had that moment. Doesn't mean that you agree with them. Yeah, I'm glad they had that moment. What is that energy shift? So when we change those energy shifts, it helps us to do what we want to do. Because many of us are stuck in a hole. We're in a hole in our old patterns. Now, I'm going to ask you, go back to that list that you wrote down, right? You wrote down the things that you want to accomplish. I'm going to say, eat better. And then you say something like, I don't like anything good. Oh, well, where's that statement coming from? And I'm going to invite you, check in to see who's talking in your head. Was that somebody you grew up with? Or somebody and a friend or an uncle, somebody that said that you shouldn't enjoy your food or eat every thing on your plate? So check in where these things come from. And I know that my perspective is different. And if you need any help with this, I definitely can help you in a session. Because people have always said to me, many people have said to me, Natasha, you put this, this, and this together, and it's amazing how you put that puzzle together to make my life go bing. It's kind of like for me going through fiddling through my life to see where I had enjoyment. And then I found out this is my true me. Okay, so with that, going through, oh, there's another card coming. There's another card coming. Who wants to speak? Fairies. The fairies. And this is this fairy deck here. And this is Doreen Virtues on the fairy deck. Okay. Let's see. Who wants to speak for us today? Who wants to speak? Who wants to speak? Okay, yeah, I need to shake them up just a little bit. Who wants to give us a message right now? Okay, so. This one here. Okay. I love the universe. And if you notice, I'm not picking off the top here. So vegetarian. Okay, so if you take vegetarian as a metaphor, changing our diet. What are we eating? What are we taking in our life? Is our habit to take in negativity or positive or more neutrality? So it's not even about positive or negative. Sometimes it's just about being more neutral, right? So vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. A new way of eating, a new way of thinking, a new way of being gives you a way to having more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestations. So vegetarian. So I'm going to read a little bit more on this one. So vegetarian. So I think this is, each book is a little bit different, so I have to make sure. And I think this is alphabetical. It is vegetarian. Okay, so what this fairy wants to say to you is, new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestations. The fairies know that fresh garden food is the healthiest and natural way to live. You're guided to follow the fairies' wisdom and eat lots of vegetables, fruits, legumes, and nuts, especially organic variety. This card validates your feelings to eat more vegetarian, even a vegan diet. This shift in your eating patterns will yield positive changes such as clear thinking, increased physical psychic abilities, and more energy. Ask the fairies to assist you with this change, as they'll guide you doing so, including helping your own garden yield a bumper crop of product. So, additional meetings is healthier or behavioral concerns is dietary related. Eliminate chemicals from your diet, detoxify, pray over your food prior to eating. Oh, I do that all the time. I put my hands over and create positive energy with my food. Changes the world for me. Consult a nutritionist, transition to a raw diet, encourage your children to eat better. Okay, so basically, if you take this as a metaphor, just excuse me here. So how can you shift what you're taking in to being more organic, more cleaner? Like I told you, sometimes when we're watching TV and that's toxic to us, we're taking that in. How can we change that by saying, I'm glad that they had that moment? Because that does change it. Instead of going, what are they doing? I'm glad they had that moment. Boy, I felt the difference in me. That was huge. That was huge. Thank you, fairies, for giving me that message, for giving us that message. So with that, as we go through life and managing our life, that right now it's us thinking out of the box that's going to be giving us something greater. It's us thinking out of our box. Because old patterns aren't necessarily are not necessarily going to work for us anymore. What do we keep doing over and over again that we think is going to change? Make a list. Write down the first thing that says why can't I do it, or why can I do it? Okay, now I'm going to add on the second thing. So remember how I told you about finding that light? Okay, I'm going to make the thing to find enjoyment. What do I have that brings enjoyment? So the list here was necessarily don't have time. Oh, enjoyment. If I enjoy it, or if I find enjoyment with it, let's say cleaning house, doing it more feng shui, I'll make more time for it, won't I? So find something that you love to do and put something to it. Like talking with my friend today, or that dear friend of mine, that finding a way to put music to her application, even if she doesn't like to do a job. Let's say she's going, let's say let's just call it, she goes and works retail and she does not like retail. Okay, she really does not like going to work and doing retail, but she puts singing to it. Let's say if she sings to herself in her head though during the day, can you imagine how much different her day will be? How much her conversations with the people around her will be? Can you imagine if she's in retail and she sings in her head, she brings that music into the moment, how much that person that she's having complications with will have a little bit of a different dance with her because of the music she's singing? Because she's going to be talking with this person, right? But she's already in a higher vibration. She's already in a higher mode to going forward. And as we go forward, and those that are joining on Instagram, I'm talking about how to work through to get ourselves moving forward. How can we move forward in our life? And doing those things that as we go forward, finding, oh, there's something that we all enjoy. We have something that we all enjoy. And let's say there's somebody out there that really enjoys dirt bike riding, right? That enjoyment of the freedom, the freedom. Now, I've ridden on the back of a dirt bike. I love it. It was fun. The freedom I felt. So how can we apply that freedom of going through the trails and enjoying the trails? How can we add that energy to doing, let's say, book work? Well, I can tell you that every time that I went from looking at the numbers, I would go over the jump and put it into the calculator. Yeah, sometimes it takes being a little bit of kiddishness, but who cares? If it gets our work done, who cares how we're doing it in our heads? Nobody needs to know what we're doing in our heads, right? So if I'm writing something down, bring that application in. Now, does that mean that all my thoughts are on the motorcycle? Yeah, that's a little bit of practice, but it is the application of coming around and having that little bit more fun into it. How am I going to work my day? How am I going to walk my day? Many of us have practiced over and over and over in our lives, practiced over and over and over again in our lives with having negative talk. Because who told us our negative talk? The people around us, right? So if we can practice a little bit different with that negative talk by adding those things that we so enjoy, it creates a different working in your brain. And I can tell you, your brain will get rewired. Your brain will get rewired. We all have something that blocks us. Finding enjoyment in my life, I've been wondering why I've been cloaked, metaphorically, where things have just not been coming to me as easily as what people have called it. I've been read by many intuitives saying that you're going to be speaking in front of people. And that was 5 years ago. Well, I am speaking in front of people now. Yet the way that they talked about it is that I was going to be a keynote speaker in front of many. And this is the fine line, that the things we love to do, we need to either have money to be a motorcycle driver, rider, right? We have to have money to buy motorcycles. So we need to do those things that bring us inspiration. In order for me to travel and get to places, I need the cash to do it, right? So there's that fine line of breath in, breath out to receive, to be successful. And I know for me that the work that I do, that people go to a counselor and pay, $300 for an hour. I'm like a fourth of that. People say that I've done amazing work with them. We all deem ourselves successful in different ways. And I can tell you that really the thing that success should be is that thing that helps us sing. Be in light, be in the moment, be who we are. If we can find that mode of success, the thing that lights us up, it doesn't matter what we do, because we always have that light. And if we can do that, we find that moment of, and the simplest application makes us applicable, helps us be applicable to whatever comes forth. Because I know for me that me finding enjoyment is going to help my relationships. Me finding enjoyment is going to help me interact with the energies of my home differently. Me finding enjoyment is going to help me wake up in the morning. Me finding enjoyment is going to help me find that person who's looking back in the mirror more beautiful. And as we go through life, I hope that you find that moment. But writing things down, we find what we want to do, because it's amazing when we let go of what we write down and we write things down, we get to that point of going, I love to travel. Well, what can I do to travel? Write that down. What can I do to travel to make money while I'm traveling? Some people find that being a truck driver, they get to travel. And if there's something else on the list is I like time alone, well, there's 2 out of 3 that truck driver does, right? We don't have to glamify our lives. Find that thing that finds enjoyment. Like somebody said one time when they were digging ditches and they were putting in pipe, and somebody was saying, "Why are you so happy?" He says, "I have the greatest job in the world. I'm bringing water to people." Perception is a lot of it. Other people were just digging ditches and putting pipe in the ground. But this person thought, I'm sending water. I'm giving people water, because that's what the pipes were, right? Sometimes it could be electricity. I'm bringing these things to people that don't have them right now. If we take a perception that's a little bit different, shift it just a little bit to a higher note, we find a different way to shine our light. We find a different way to find inspiration in what we're doing. And what was funny was yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday. It was yesterday that I looked up. I heard a commotion, and there was a hawk flying along, or was that Monday? I was flying along, and there was 3 or 4 crows. They were flying around, so it was hard for me to remember if there's 3 or 4 squawking at it. And this hawk was flying by itself, right? Well, as I've been thinking about this, well, the hawk represents getting a greater vision. It's about finding its path. And actually, it's funny because it flew over this part of the house, my spiritual room. Like that just hit me too, tapped on me too. That as he was flying, he had the black magic, the smart birds, the birds that know things, the ones that create, they manipulate life to work for them, right? That as they're squawking and talking to this eagle or the hawk just kept flying. Wasn't going to let all that squawking, that negative talk, all that quacking bother him. He just kept going. And yet he had something that was annoying him, pushing him along. So a lot of things in our life are going to annoy us to get us moving, to move us to where we're going. How can we apply that knowing? And I can tell you, everything that endings has to be replaced by something. Has to be replaced by something. So what are we going to make of that something? We can bring more light and love into it, right? We can have more love and light into it. More love and light. Okay, so this next set of cards is it's the Path of the Soul. These are just beautiful. And they are done by, who is it done by? Oh, this is easier to read. And I cannot say her name, and I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling these cards. This is a newer deck that I pulled out, and I love it. It's really nice. Okay, and this is probably going to be it's 452, so it's going to be my last card that I'm going to pull. And I'm asking this to make a card for the greater good so people know what the greater good is. And I usually try to keep my shows for an hour. And if you've missed this on Instagram, you can go to my YouTube page, Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications, and find lots of videos, supportive videos on my YouTube channel. Please like it if you find it there. Please subscribe or whatever you want to call it. And this will be on my Instagram post too once I share it. Okay, so I'm going to get this. So what is the greater message that people can hear to help themselves move forward in their life? So when I'm pulling cards, what I'm doing is I'm pulling those cards. Oh, it's saying, okay, so who wants to come out? And actually, it's this card right here. Ooh, this one's beautiful. Spread your wings. Spread your wings is what I'm hearing. The cathedral of support is with you. If you spread your wings, spread your light. And it's number 40. So I'm going to take a minute and read this here. Go to number 40. It's almost the end of the deck because it's a 44 card deck. Number 40. Egyptian eagle. Oh, didn't I just talk about a hawk? Hawks and eagles are pretty much the same. Hawk and eagle. Egyptian eagle. This is the time to release all your past ideals that no longer serve you. If you have been doing inner work, this card represents its completion and the shift into the new. If you are just beginning, this card represents that it is time to begin an inner work. As we make these great life shifts, those who were once close seem to drift away. Take time to thank them for the lessons you have shared. Egyptian eagle offers the higher perspective of viewpoint. Didn't I tell you that a hawk is a bigger? I think that's, what have we talked about old patterns? Vegetarian, the fairy said vegetarian, but that's about creating new. You can't eat junk food, hear junk food, think junk food if you want to change your life, right? So I'm going to read it again. This is a time to release all your past ideals that no longer serve you. Now that could be old belief systems, belief systems of our families, belief systems of let's say if you're a Republican, now a Democrat, whatever it is. I'm not blaming on a politician, but I'm just saying, okay, whatever it is, it's time to clean it up. Okay. If you've been doing inner work, this card represents its completion and the shift into the new. If you are just beginning, this card represents that it is time to begin the inner work. So in other words, many of us say, oh, I don't have to look at that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about what my dreams are telling me. I don't want to listen to my inner self to say what I'm wanting to do. But it's time to start doing that. As we make these great shifts in life, those who were once close may seem to drift away. Take time to thank them for the lessons you have shared. Egyptian Eagle offers a higher perspective and viewpoint. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful for the last statement. That if you've been doing the work already, you're going to fly. And if you're just beginning, you have help to see the greater vision. And if you are just waking up to a new spiritual walk, I can help you with that. So I'm a medium, intuitive personal awareness coach. I love to bring awareness to life. And doing it with your personalness. I can do it like this, or when I find that conversation with you, I can find those little pieces that weave you to make you you, that we can break open and help you be this beautiful self that you are. Because everybody's beautiful, no matter what the skin is. Actually, that's beautiful too. So with that, you can reach me at angelicclarifications.com, Natasha Venter, angelicclarifications.com. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and there was a new one, Rumble. I don't know if I'm going to keep all those, but so I'm in a lot of different places to find inspiration. And I post regularly. Actually, I post inspirational quotes and videos every day of the week. So please like the page, subscribe to the page, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe there if you would like to see more inspirations. And I'm here live every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, unless I have a guest for Instagram. Otherwise, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. And I also have a show on Mondays with Regan Forston, who is a hypnotherapist with the Newton Institute. And that's the Dance of the Soul. So you can reach me every week, 4 o'clock Pacific time, here on these platforms. Blessings to you on your journey. And like I said, if you need any help, I'm here for you. Just go click and make an appointment on my webpage at angelicclarifications.com. Blessings to you. Let everybody know that you have an angel supporting you. You have guidance supporting you. And if you're working through your emotions, let them be for a moment and then say, where are we going to go from here? Let them speak, cry, be angry safely, not at others, into a pillow, into a moment, and then say, where are we going to go from here? And if you can, write down what you want to, write down ideas. Web designer, electrician, whatever you want to do, even if you don't like it. Electrician, I don't like doing that. I don't like crawling under houses and getting all dirty. Oh, but now I've done it for 30 years. Could I be a teacher? I love giving inspiration to people. Oh, I can be a teacher. So think out of the box. Think out of the box. This is time to think out of the box and start something new. Blessings to you. I will see you next Monday and Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time on these platforms. Blessings. Bye now.